Muli, ako po si Brenda Dela Peña, isang teacher sa Division of the Union, San Gabriel District. And today, I will be sharing about research in online education or online environment. So our topic today is relevant and responsive to our needs as teachers, since one of our learning modalities will be online. So before we proceed to my sharing, to my presentation, I would like to pose our online task to be answered after the sharing or presentation to give you an idea in advance. So ito po yung online task natin mamaya. Magkakaroon po tayo ng sharing tungkol sa topic na ating i-present mamaya. So I will read to you the questions. If you are going to conduct a research about online education, what topic are you going to explore or solve? So number 2, during this COVID-19 pandemic, what learning modality is suited to your learners or students? Number 3, do you think online education is better than face-to-face setup? And why? So number 4, in your own opinion, can we make online learning effective to the learners in the basic education in the Philippines? So yun po yung sasagutin natin mamaya after the sharing. So nagsimula ang paglaganap ng COVID-19 sa bansang China. Paano na kaya ang sitwasyon ng edukasyon sa bansang ito? So let us watch this video on how online education is being conducted in China.
Brents, wala po siyang sound. Paki-share po ulit, tapos paki-check po ninyo yung share computer audio.
Ay. Hello, ma'am? Hello, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sige, ma'am. Ulit ko po.
Opo. Tapos, Ma'am Bren.
Yes,
ma'am. Gusto naming makita ang inyong magandang face. Ayun po.
Ma'am, kasi pag ino-on ko siya, ma'am, parang...
nababawasan?
Yes, ma'am. Yun yung napansin ko.
Sige po, okay lang po. Sige, voice na lang po.
Kasi yes, ma'am.
Ang ating Ma'am Brents ay straight from La Union.
Yes, ma'am. Pasensya na sa ma'am.
Apo, thank you po.
Thank you din, ma'am. Sige, ma'am, i-try ko siya ulit i-share.
Apo.
Tapos, you are sharing screen. Yun naman, ma'am, ang naka-appear na sa akin.
Hindi, ma'am. Kasi may audio po yung po ninyo, presentation. Pag nag-share screen po kayo, may mag-a-appear po na parang window. Sa left side po nun ay bandang baba nun ay meron pong maliit na box. Hindi nyo siya gaanong mapapansin. Share your computer audio po.
Okay, ma'am. Sige po. Try.
Okay po.
Beginning. Ay. Ano? I-hide.
Ma'am, yan din po ba yung shinare niyo sa akin?
Hello, ma'am?
Yan din po yung shinare niyo sa akin. Sige, ma'am, patry po ulit nung page na may video. Pag wala, dito ko ipi-play sa akin.
Ay, sige. Ma'am, meron akong forward sa'yo kanina.
Sa email po?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sige po, check ko.
Wait lang, naghahang kasi. Meron na, ma'am?
Ay, wala pa rin po. Check ko na lang po yung nandito, ma'am. Saglit lang po.
Ay, sige, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Kaya walang audio.
Sandali lang po mga kasama at i-ano ko lang po, open ko lang saglit.
Once again, good morning, everyone. I just would like to clarify that this is not live in our YouTube. This is actually recorded and
Ma'am Neri, sorry po, nilive
Yes
ko na
po.
lang po siya.
Live na po ba?
Yes po.
Okay. Sige. Thank you po. While we are waiting for the presentation, just would like to remind our participants that we have to engage ourselves with the online task after this session. We have 4 questions that was given a while ago by our speaker, Dr. Dela Peña. Please note your answers and later po we will give you a floor for you to answer the questions, okay? So I noted it actually. The first one, if you are going to conduct a research about online education, what topic are you going to explore or solve? Second one, during the COVID-19 pandemic, what learning modality is suited to your students or learners? Number 3, do you think online education is better than face-to-face setup and why? And lastly, in your opinion, can we also make OL effective to the learners in the basic education in the Philippines? So those are the questions. So I guess our speaker is already ready.
Neri, sandali lang po, loading na, wait lang.
Okay. It's okay, ma'am. Take your time po.
Opo.
Again, participants, if you have questions, comments, or clarifications, you can post it or put it in our chat box and we are going to entertain it later if we have time. So again, our topic for this session is research in an online environment. So I think it's already ready. Thank you po.
Ma'am Bren, share ko na po itong slide na po ito ha. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
This little boy is crying because his online English class is over. As the deadly coronavirus continues to close schools across China, the only contact these kids have with the outside world is online.
Where is Zap?
You can see the smile on the children's faces just to meet their teacher and to meet their classmates.
But to achieve this is no mean feat. Swiss-based language school Education First says around 150,000 of their students in China have migrated to online learning since the first cases of the infection were reported.
We are solving for a quite difficult problem, which is how can you ensure to schedule tens of thousands of students into small group online classes for students to be with the same classmates and their favorite teacher on a daily basis. I don't know if anyone else have done this before.
Around 20,000 people in China are employed at Education First, with over 300 schools, and last year they registered 6 million online students.
EF has invested in technology for many years, and we have an amazing team of engineers They have built our online platform with our online classroom, but they have also ensured that all support services for our schools are completely cloud-based. And this is what made the switch so fast for us. I can actually not think of any other organization that took a bricks and mortar business and turned it into online so quickly.
In fact, so quick that they are leading the way in moving education online, something the Chinese authorities are also doing as coronavirus continues to keep people at home.
I think we have managed to do something that we couldn't have dreamt of. So it's been an opportunity for us to really move a much larger percentage of our student base online and giving them the flexibility to continue learning with their teachers than we could ever have dreamt of.
In fact, according to UBS, this could be a catalyst for a boom in online education and a mega trend in China over the next 3 to 5 years. Olivia Chang, CNN Money Switzerland.
Back to you, Ma'am Brins.
Hello, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Okay na po? Okay po yung audio ko, ma'am.
Ay, ako na po yung nag-share, ma'am, nitong
Ay.
presentation.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry. Thank you very much, ma'am. Okay, so sa video na napanood natin, mukhang handang-handa ang bansang China sa pag-respond sa problema nila kung paano nila i-deliver yung instruction. And imagine na sa primary or basic education ay nakapag-conduct sila ng online classes during this pandemic. So research suggests that online learning has been shown to increase retention of information and take less time, meaning the changes coronavirus have caused might be here to stay. With this sudden shift away from the classroom in many parts of the globe, some are wondering whether the adoption of online learning will continue to persist post-pandemic and how such a shift would impact the worldwide education market. So more than 1.5 billion of students and young learners globally are affected by school and university closures due to coronavirus disease pandemic. So schools have remained closed for weeks and no one knows for certain when we will come out of the lockdowns. So in the Philippines, the COVID-19 crisis has affected about 27 million learners, 1 million teachers and non-teaching staff, as well as the families of learners. So the Department of Education recently announced that classes for the next school year would begin on August 24, 2020. So classes may start earlier, but there will be no physical return to school. So DepEd is offering schools a menu of alternative learning methods that includes online learning and offline methods, such as take-home activities or readings and activities. So if one of the answers to the problem on learning delivery this COVID-19 pandemic is online learning, how will you describe 21st century education? So let us watch the next video.
We wanted to talk about 21st century education. We are living through an educational revolution. The pace of change is staggering. Schools, regions, entire countries are turning education on its head and redefining the experiences of students and of teachers. The impact is felt by millions of children and their families around the world. Let's consider for a moment the world in which they live. A world with so much knowledge it's hard to grasp. People are creating 2,000 new websites every hour. They are uploading 35 hours of video every minute and watching 2 billion YouTube videos every day. By the time they leave school, teenagers average nearly 1,000 Facebook friends. They connect with people thousands of miles away as if they were in the same room. They consume, produce, and communicate information in previously unimaginable ways. They truly are the children of a globalized world. And where are they heading as they grow up? To a hyper-connected world with more people and fewer resources. A busy and competitive world full of uncertainties. A workforce that is more mobile and better qualified than ever before. And careers that span multiple jobs, positions and skill sets, some of which haven't been invented yet. In response, education leaders are making big changes, building 21st century skills, using enabling technologies, and personalising learning to engage students in diverse and creative ways. In South Korea, schools are switching to digital textbooks so students can study anytime and anywhere, with online hours recognised as school attendance. In Denmark, students are using the internet while taking exams. They can access any site they like, even Facebook, as long as they don't message each other or use email. In the USA, ultra-personalised learning approaches allow students to create their own individual schedules. Their interests and performance are logged daily to generate playlists of learning options, with teachers' time freed up to mentor and supervise students. Learning can happen anywhere and everywhere. That's why some Australian schools are pushing learning beyond school walls, where internships with local organisations are a fundamental part of each student's learning plan. Distance learning programs are connecting seriously disengaged students with online learning communities and personal mentors to help them rediscover their love for learning. The opportunities for 21st century education are immense. These examples point the way to ensuring that tomorrow's workers, parents and citizens are more creative problem solvers, better communicators and lifelong learners. To make sure that change happens on a massive scale, we need to make big changes. That's why we've designed the new Australian curriculum online, supported by interactive, constantly updated digital resources, structured around students' and teachers' needs. And it's why we now have national professional standards for teachers and principals that make sure they meet the needs of 21st century learners. But that's just the beginning. Join us as we broaden this debate and connect educational pioneers and thought leaders across Australia and the world.
Okay, so ang Australia ay handang-handa na rin sa online education nila. So matagal na nilang kinakandak ang online education sa kanilang bansa. So natitiyak nila na ang future ng mga students nila ay magiging maganda rin sa hinaharap. So ang tanong sa Pilipinas, dahil nagsisimula pa lang tayo sa ating online learning program or online program, paano din kaya ang future ng mga students natin? Lalo na ngayong may pandemic, lalo sa basic education, wala pang online setup. Paano kaya ang mag-aaral natin sa basic education? So, what does online learning mean? So we have several meanings of online learning or online education, and I have one definition here. So when we say online learning, it is a subset of flexible teaching and learning that seeks to provide greater access to learning for all students. So basically, kailangan natin ng internet, a collaboration of the internet and the classroom for the purpose of education. So we have 8 countries leading the way in online education. Ano ba yung mga bansa na matagal na nagkakandak ng online education? So from Edudemic, we have United States of America, India, China, South Korea, Malaysia, United Kingdom, Australia, and South Africa. So 8 pa lang yung leading the way in online education. Alin kayang bansa o ano kayang bansa ang susunod na mapapabilang sa list na mag-e-excel sa online education? Dito naman sa Pilipinas, we have also schools offering online education. Kung mapapansin, mostly sa higher or tertiary level ang pag-offer ng online education. So we have AMA, UP, PUP, CAP, Asian Institute for Distance Education, mayroon din yung New Era University, Benguet State University, Visayan State University, meron ding e-learning for agriculture and fisheries, and the Southville International School affiliated with foreign universities. So, kailan kayo magkakaroon ng online education na naka-offer din siya sa elementary at sa high school? So, yung mga present ko ay mga online education sa higher or tertiary level lamang po. Right? Kung mapapansin nyo, doon sa 8 countries na nagli-lead sa online education, hindi kasali ang bansang Russia. Paano kaya umunlad ang online education sa bansang Russia? So let us watch this video about online education in Russia.
In 2016, Russians spent $346 million on online education, and this number is expected to grow to $890 million by 2021. Accessibility is what makes online education appealing. With a smartphone, computer, and an internet connection, you can study anything from anywhere. Now, what does online education teach us? Every 10th adult looking for professional education courses chooses online learning. These people are driven by different goals. Some are eager to change their profession or carve out a great career. Others go after acquiring relevant skills. What do they study? Everything from finances and online marketing to business etiquette. Digital technology allows us to learn things regardless of our age or location. Now, we can do it more efficiently and continuously from an early age to a venerable age. Many people and businesses have realized the potential of online education. Others will be there soon. The second largest e-learning audience is university students. Today, top Russian schools offer online courses on economics, physics, biology, and other subjects. K through 12 students and their parents go online to get ready for final school exams, university admission tests, or to catch up with the curriculum. With e-learning, one does not have to spend time to get a tutor. The system offers flexible scheduling, programs, and teachers for all needs. This type of studying is accessible and affordable for any Russian student. Russians have also been vigorously learning foreign languages, with English and German leading the chart. Online technology offers an opportunity to learn directly from a native speaker or a well-known scholar without leaving the workplace or home. We expect that by 2021, 145,000 Russians will learn languages this way. The country's large and medium-sized businesses use outsourced online platforms for corporate tasks. As no in-house solutions are required, companies save money while educating employees and invest directly in people. In Vitro, Puma, Beeline, M-Video, and Ross Telecom are among those who choose online platform training. Now, let's ask why the future is online. Online beats traditional education and complements it at the same time. Internet connection breaks geographical, material, and physical barriers for the learner. One chooses a school or course that they need to get more relevant knowledge and skills. Now, they are better equipped to fulfill goals. Investors see the world become an extremely digital place, and they show interest in online education. During the last 3 years, venture funds have been more actively investing in e-learning projects. What's next? We expect substantial growth in K through 12, languages, and corporate markets. We also see how big data and machine learning are becoming parts of our lives. Bots are not replacing teachers yet, but they have already grown into their good assistants. Adaptive learning algorithms help us tune courses and even curricula to one's skills and needs. Education now must be seen as a lifelong experience. Our world keeps changing and making us learn new things every day. Following that, online services offer us relevant professional skills and tools for reaching any specific goal. Private business, B2C, and corporate e-learning companies are a driving force of innovative technology in education. The government has also been supporting recent industry changes with a series of new regulations. People and businesses start investing in their education, and online education in particular. Meanwhile, EdTech scale-up companies and startups have gotten used to keep a sustainable profit and now continue their search for more effective monetization models. Want to know more? Visit edumarket.digital.
So, ang Russia hindi kabilang sa nagli-lead in online education, but they embrace change in education system because they believe that there is a future in online learning. Kaya ngayon, kumikita na sila at nag-i-excel na rin sila sa different languages kasi ang Russia hindi sila bihasa sa pagsasalita ng English at saka sa iba pang languages. Nang na-introduce sa kanila ang online learning, mas improve ang kanilang education system at ang economic status ng kanilang bansa. So from the videos and information given earlier, the objectives of this session are to share some researches in online education, and fellow teachers, participants, we are going to share our insights and thoughts about the given online task. And I want also to encourage everyone to conduct research kung may time about the different learning modalities and interventions to continue learning during this COVID-19 pandemic. So today, I will be sharing to you some approved researches on how online education was successfully conducted with its findings, conclusions, and recommendations. So we have 4 categories of researches in online education. So mayroon tayong examples ng researches in online education na ang tinatahak ay learning outcomes. Nung kinandak ba nila yung online education, ano ba ang outcome sa mga students or learners? Meron din tayong examples ng researches na ang ini-emphasize ay ang growth of online learning. Meron din tayong researches na ang binibigyang diin ay halaga or yung cost ng online learning. And the last one, yung impact ng online education on instructional design and delivery. So let's first discuss, or I would like to share to you about learning outcomes. So comparative research on learning outcomes in distance education versus face-to-face instructional settings has a long history reaching back to the 1920s. The findings of hundreds, perhaps thousands of studies over the decades and through the 1990s have been consistent na no significant difference in learning outcomes between face-to-face and online learning. Pareho pa rin ang learning outcomes. So effective ang face-to-face, effective pa rin ang online learning. So beginning around 2000, several studies, including meta-studies, began to find significant differences in favor of online learning. So noong 1990s, face-to-face and online pareho. But then, beginning 2000, mas marami na ang nagsasabi na mas effective na ang online learning. Okay? Dito yung example ng research from the US Department of Education, Evaluation of Evidence-Based Practices in Online Learning, a meta-analysis and review of online learning studies. So ano ang findings ng research na ito? So technologies were not significantly different from regular classrooms. Classroom learning in terms of effectiveness. Students who took all or part of their course online performed better on average than those taking the same course through traditional face-to-face instruction. So talagang wala palang pinagkaiba ang online learning at regular classroom when it comes to learning outcomes. So sinasabi pa na mas okay pa or better ang online learning kaysa sa face-to-face instruction. Okay, sa next example, mula kay Scotcher, M, and Newman, Y, ang kanilang research ay differences between traditional and distance education academic performance, a meta-analytic approach. Ang findings ng kanilang research ay nagpapakita na there is a strong positive trend indicating that distance education is an effective form of instruction. So maraming nagsasabi na pag distance education, hindi natututukan, but then sa research nila, sinasabi nila na effective form of instruction ang distance education. At mas nag-perform pa rin ang mga students that are engaged in distance education than those who were face-to-face setup, in face-to-face setup. The next example from Newhouser C 2002, the title of the research, Learning Style and Effectiveness of Online and Face-to-Face Instruction. Ito naman yung findings niya. No significant differences in test scores, assignments, participation grades, and final grades, although the online group's averages were slightly higher. And 96% of the online students found the course to be either effective or more effective to their learning than their typical face-to-face course. And the study also showed that equivalent learning activities can be equally effective for online and face-to-face learning, I should say. All right. Kay Patrick S. and Powell A. 2009 naman, ang kanilang research ay summary of research on the effectiveness of K-12 online learning, effectiveness of online teaching and learning. So the meta-analysis found that virtual instruction produced results measuring student achievement that were as good or better than traditional face-to-face instruction. So consistent na mas effective pa rin ang online instruction. So no significant difference in student performance in online courses versus traditional face-to-face courses, and in particular programs. And they are still performing equally well or better. Right? So from Swan K 2003, Learning Effectiveness Online, what the research tell us, ang findings niya, students generally learn as much online as they do in traditional classroom environment. So mas marami daw talaga yung mas marami daw natututunan ang mga bata sa online setup. Sa research naman ni Russell T.L., the no significant difference phenomenon, a comparative research, annotated bibliography on technology for distance education, ang conclusion naman niya sa kanyang study, no matter how the learning is produced, how it is delivered, whether or not it is interactive, low-tech, or high-tech, students learn equally well with each technology and learn as well as their on-campus face-to-face counterparts. So the same, online man or on campus, I should say. So pumunta naman tayo sa next category ng researches or research in online education, growth of online learning. So research on the growth of online learning as tracked by the annual Sloan surveys and others indicate that it is fast-paced and substantial. The explanations for the growth based on survey research are traced to the economic downturn, the increasing adult student population, and the growing belief among academic leaders that it is as good or better than face-to-face learning. So The College of 2020 Study Chronicle Research Services suggests that the growth of online learning is also in response to the new college student who is older, more technologically savvy, and in need of an accessible, low-cost educational option. So research now includes more and more studies of the continuing growth of online learning within and across countries, make it a global phenomenon. So it's an example ng research under growth of online learning. Meron si Allen E. and Seaman J. 2010, Class Differences, Online Education in the United States. So ang findings ng kanilang research ay 63% of institutions surveyed that online learning was an essential part of their future strategy. And almost 30% of all enrollments now are in online courses. So parami ng parami ang gustong mag-aral through online. More than 3/4 of academic leaders at public institutions reported that online is as good or better than face-to-face instructions. And reported year-to-year enrollment changes for fully online programs by discipline. Okay, sa research naman ni Bates T. 2011, Outlook for Outline Learning and Distance Education, Contact North. Ang conclusions ng kanyang study ay several timely opportunities for growth and development in online distance learning. So ano ba yung mga opportunities na yon? So applications to accommodate greater student mobility, expansion of open educational offerings, and implementation of learning analytics to improve instruction. So lumalaki na ang online learning sa US noon. So kay Green, Casey, and Weiner E., online education, where is it going? What should boards know? 2011. Ang conclusion and recommendations niya ay, the continuing conversation about quality involves more than simply comparing the performance in online and on-campus courses. So hindi lang siya basta-basta online. Dapat quality pa rin ang dinideliver natin sa mga students. So ang focus ng kanyang recommendation is what students learn, not what they learn, and what types of learning environments, technologies, and resources foster student learning. So mas mahalaga pa rin kung ano yung natututunan ng mga estudyante. So kay Van der Werf and Sewisher G. 2009, the College of 2020 Students Chronicles Research Services. All right. Ang findings or conclusions ng kanyang study or ng kanilang study ay more and more students will not be able to afford to be full-time residential students and will be looking for low-cost online options. So mas mura daw pag online ang pipiliin nila for their learning. There is growth in online enrollment across almost all disciplines. So pare-pareho sa previous study na present ko na nag-i-increase ang online enrollment nila. And there is a strong correlation between the size of a higher education institution and the average number of its online students. And the number of colleges offering online courses continues to grow. Right? Tapos na natin yung learning outcomes, yung growth of learning. Pumunta naman tayo sa third category, yung cost of online learning. So research studies on the cost of online learning approach is subject into two ways. Comparisons to the cost of traditional classroom learning and projection of potential cost benefits if it is conducted in an optimum way. And as online learning grows and becomes more systemic, Studies aimed at determining its economic benefits, which are perhaps the most promising in the new era of research. So maraming nagtatanong kung makakatipid ba talaga sila kung online learning at kikita ba sila kung sa parang school naman, kikita ba sila kung online learning ang kanilang mode of instruction. Right? Sa mga halimbawa ng researches under cost of online learning, from Twig CA 2001, Innovations in Online Learning, Moving Beyond No Significant Difference. So ito yung findings or conclusions. Nag-increase ang access, nag-improve ang learning effectiveness and student satisfaction, lowered costs, and maximize faculty time. So nakatipid sila during the online setup. So mula naman kay Ricard W., the efficacy and evitability of online learning in higher education, ang kanyang findings or conclusions, online learning has become an integral aspect of all types of mainstream education and training environments. So dahil sa COVID-19, naging trend ang online seminars, sinasabi nating webinar, pati meetings, pati trainings, naging online na rin. At syempre, naging option na ang online education dahil sa pandemic. So isa ring naging problema tuwing pasukan ang siksikan ng mga students sa classroom. Dahil sa pandemya, medyo maiibsan ang suliraning ito dahil sa online setup ng pag-aaral. So online learning makes it possible to serve more students without necessarily having to invest more classroom space. And mas nag-improve ang performance ng mga bata. Okay, mula naman kay Caswell T, Henson S, Jensen M, and Wiley D, 2008, yung sa Open Educational Resources, Enabling Universal Education. So, last year, inilaunch ang Digital Rise program ng DepEd at isa ang open educational resources sa mga isinusulong ng kagawaran. So, when we say open educational resources, these are resources na pwedeng gamitin for free, kaya ang cost of online learning is not that expensive. And because it's free, the right to have an education is really evident. So, pwede po tayong mag-access sa OER ng libre na walang gastos. Or konti lang, siguro yung gagastusin natin. So, the last category ng ating researches on online education or research in online education is the impact on instructional design and delivery. As online learning continues its rapid growth in colleges and universities, there has been an increased study of strategies for its successful implementation. These include case studies describing effective practices of building funding and sustaining online programs within the university. And there is also a growing research based on the delivery of effective online models that are scalable, improve learning, and lower cost. Through the research, there is an emphasis on the need for administrators to be strategic in their use of online learning and to ensure faculty are trained in its effective design and delivery. So, example ng research, Instructional Strategies for Online Courses, 2011. So, ang findings or conclusion, instructional strategies described include learning contracts, lecture, discussion, self-directed learning mentorship, small group work, projects, collaborative learning, case study, and forum. Sa research na ito, nagkaroon ng conclusion na ang mga nabanggit na instructional strategies ang mga kailangan natin kapag online ang setup ng pagtuturo. So ito ang mga strategies na kadalasang pinapagawa natin sa ating mga students or ipapagawa pa lang natin pag online ang learning modality natin. Right? According to Hutchins, HM 2003, Instructional Immediacy and the 7 Principles, Strategies for Facilitating Online Courses. Narito ang mga recommendations niya. Encourage students to think and learn, give prompt feedback, provide guidance and support, and consider new and different ways technology may add support to current strategies and help to induct new ones. So, kahit online pa ang setup ng pagtuturo at pag-aaral, meron pa rin tayong mga strategies na ginagawa to have a good impact on instructional design and delivery. So make sure na ang technology na ginagamit natin can deliver lessons effectively. So sa pagtuturo online, hindi basta-basta at kung ano-ano lang ang tinuturo natin. Ang mahalaga yung theory on learning and teaching. Yun dapat yung priority. So sa next research, example of research, all right? So kay Kim KJ and Bong CJ 2006, The Future of Online Teaching and Learning, mahalaga o bigyan ng prioridad ang pedagogical issues in online learning. And ang dapat na gamitin na methods of online instruction or ng mga online instructors ay collaboration, case learning, and PBL or the problem-based learning. So make sure that the online experiences of students are encouraging and engaging. So hindi sila madi-disappoint. Ganyan lang pala yung online learning. So madi-disappoint na sila, mawawala na sila ng interest na matuto. So next example, from Power M 2008, the emergence of a blended online learning environment. So, ang recommendations niya, there is a need for balance between the aims of administration, faculty limits, and learners' needs, and it establishes bottom-line requirements for structures and dialogue in a workable teaching learning environment. So, blend available information and communication technologies to provide online learners with a complete online learning environment. So, dapat yung mga binibigay na requirements online, it should be relevant and responsive to what the students are really learning. Dito pumapasok ang blended online learning environment. So, may interaction online with traditional place-based instruction or classroom. Hindi dahil online ang setup at students learn at on pace or pace at on pace, the teacher is not there. So laging present dapat ang teacher kahit online pa ang setup. Hindi yung hayaan na lang natin yung mga students. So sumasang-ayon naman ako sa recommendations ni Power. According to Ricard W. 2010, the efficacy of online learning in higher education. So nakafocus pa rin sa higher education. So ang kanyang recommendations, provide simple and efficient ways for teachers to respond to student needs, accommodate diverse learning styles, increase ease of content and course management, put students at the center of the learning process, meet the needs of underserved students, yung nangangailangan ng remediation. Sa mga recommendations ni Ricard, kinakailangan pa rin ang remediation, lalo na sa mga students na nahihirapan, lalo na at first time na sila ay mag-o-online. So the teacher should address the learner's needs or the student's needs to come up with a positive instructional design and delivery. Okay. For the next, the future of higher education, how technology will shape learning 2008. So ang conclusions, technology has had and will continue to have a significant impact on higher education. So online learning reach people who might otherwise not be able to access it. And technology has a large impact on their campuses, but acknowledge operational challenges that hinder realizing full benefits. So, hindi natin alam kung kailan matatapos ang pandemic na ito. Kaya schools need to strengthen the use of technology to teach online. And we should address the challenges that affect the operation and the delivery of lessons through online. Right?
What does the future
Patuloy
hold
na
for
magiging
education
online
in
ang
5 years?
setup. Right? Kung patuloy na magiging online ang setup sa mga schools na may access sa internet at may equipment, ano kaya ang magiging future ng mga bata sa aspeto ng edukasyon? So let us watch this video.
10. What will learning be like for students, and how will teachers instruct? And what role will security and IT operations play in keeping critical functions online and facilities and data secure? Today, the learning experience is already extending beyond the classroom. Soon, on-demand and more personalized learning will make it even easier for students to fit school into their own schedules and learn in the way that best suits them. Finishing a course will be based on the knowledge you've acquired, not a specific date. Augmented reality, digital images superimposed on live content, and virtual reality, an artificial 3D environment, are some of the hottest technologies today. In education, they can allow students to visit monuments, explore Mars, and even travel back in time. Artificial intelligence, or AI, is the ability for computerized machines to mimic human thought processes. It could make it possible to personalize the delivery of information and assessments to an individual. It could also shift the role of the teacher to that of a facilitator, supplementing the AI lessons and helping struggling students. And for academic research and discoveries, AI could help break through boundaries we can't even conceive right now. Everything you do today and tomorrow, from capturing lessons to enhancing research capabilities with AI, depends on a strong IT infrastructure foundation. All your systems, network, mobility, collaboration, security, data center, need to work together seamlessly to support the changing landscape of education. And Cisco can help.
So we will see more classes being conducted through web video conferencing. Some schools and universities will use a learning management system, or the LMS, such as Google Classroom, Moodle, Blackboard Learn, and Canvas, to enable students to complete assignments, deliver presentations, take assessments, and receive immediate feedback from their teachers online. So yan na ang magiging future ng ating education pagpatuloy pa rin ang pandemic. So I want before I end my sharing, I would like to share this quote from Donna J. Abernathy. Online learning is not the next big thing. It is now big thing. So ngayon na natin kailangan ang online learning. Ngunit sa Pilipinas, lalo na sa government schools or public schools, iilan pa lang ang nakakagawa ng online learning. So wala pa yatang online learning na naisasagawa sa basic education. Siguro sa private school meron. Pero napansin naman natin na ang online learning ay nasa mga colleges pa lang at university. So kailangan talaga nating maging handa o handa tayo anytime. Kasi hindi lamang COVID-19 ang maaaring makaapekto sa pag-aaral ng ating mga estudyante, kundi mayroon pa tayong mga disasters gaya ng earthquake, typhoon, flood. So aside from COVID-19, meron pang mga ibang makakaapekto na dapat nating paghandaan, kaya mayroon tayong sinusulong na online learning modality. So, thank you very much po. Maraming salamat po sa panunood at pakikinig. Pasensya na po sa shortcomings ko. I hope po na kahit pa paano may na-share din po ako sa inyo tungkol sa research in online education. Salamat po. Sa mga gustong mag-conduct ng action research, mag-refer lang po tayo sa Ma'am Michelle, paki-post po natin yung sa next slide. Pagkatapos po nung ma'am, sa quotation. Sa quote po. Ay po. Yan po. Doon po sa mga gustong mag-conduct ng action research on online learning at other topics, pwede po tayong mag-refer. Siguro familiar na kayo sa DepEd Order number 16. Series 2017, ang Research Management Guidelines, at ang DepEd Order number 39, Series 2016, the Adoption of Basic Research Agenda. Nandun yung mga example ng topics na pwedeng pag-basean natin kung ano yung ikakandak natin na action research. Yan lamang po. So let's go back po sa ating online task. Salamat po, Ma'am Michelle. Pwede na po din kayong mag-share ng inyong insights or thoughts about online education para meron din po akong ma-adapt para sa amin. Although nasa mountain school ako, modular classes ang mangyayari dahil nasa remote school ako, siguro meron din akong ma-adapt kahit offline pero interactive. Yan lamang po. Salamat po, Sir and Ma'am.
Ma'am Neri, okay na po tayo for open forum po.
Okay, thank you so much po again to our speaker, Dr. Brenda Dela Peña. We are really truly blessed po of your presence and knowledge that you shared to us in this session. My fellow educators and participants, if you would like to ask a question po to our speaker, you can press the raise button or unmute your microphones or just comment down po in our chat box and our speaker will answer it. Dr. Dela Peña, Dr. Brenda, there is a question po. Saan po ipapasa ang sagot sa mga questions and until what time? That's from Ma'am Gemma Isguera po.
Ay, salamat po, Ma'am Nerissa. Hello po, Ma'am Gemma. Ma'am, pwede rin po, ngayon po, pwedeng mag-answer po kayo. Or meron po din Google form, pero siguro kukuha din po tayo ng mga shares ngayon po, ma'am, na hindi po sa Google form. Mayroon po akong Google form na ihinanda kung saan doon po sila mag-fill up ng answer. Pero pwede rin po na live po na mag-share ngayon, ma'am.
Okay, so if you want to share also your answers to our participants po, you can unmute your microphones po, and Dr. Dela Peña provided a Google form for us to answer po. That's, nakikita ko na po siya sa chat box natin. So anyone po sa ating participants who would like to answer the 4 questions given a while ago po. Anyone po or questions kanina sa session po natin? Anyone? I guess none.
Ma'am Neri?
Yes po. Yes, good morning po, Ma'am Villamor.
Good morning. Yung sa akin yung sharing ko lang, di ba? Para naman na
Sige po.
makita ni Mama Brenda ang ating effort din. Ano?
Okay,
Pero
so
nakakatuwa
yes.
talagang makinig. Masaya.
Yes po. Ma'am Brenda, I would like to present our designated guidance counselor. Ipe-present niya at i-share niya po ang kanyang
number
answer.
3 lang yung nasagutan ko eh.
Okay po.
Pero
yan.
yung usual naman po, di ba sa number 1, if we will conduct. Hi ma'am, good morning po.
Sige po,
Good
Ma'am
morning po.
Villamor, take it away.
Thank you po sa effort nyo para po maturuan kami. No po. Sa akin po hanggang number 3 pa lang yung nasagutan ko. Pero ang usual naman po na talagang makakonduct natin na research for this time of pandemic is, ito po yung sa akin, if it is okay, the effectiveness of online learning and teaching in Tagumpay National High School among selected grade 10 students. Or ito po muna, pag yung pang students lang, effective of online learning in Tagumpay National High School among selected grade 10 students, school year 2020-2021, since I'm handling the grade 10 students po. So that's the research that I'm planning po. No, if it is okay po. Try lang
yes.
po ito.
Yes po, ma'am. Dapat pag action research po, limited lang talaga sa classroom at yung mga learners mo talaga kasi nagsosolve ka ng problem sa iyong classroom. Kaya tama po yan, ma'am.
Thank you so much po, ma'am.
Thank
Tapos
you din po,
kapag dating
ma'am.
naman po doon sa teachers, so effectiveness din po ng online learning teaching among Tagumpay National Teachers School Year 2020-2021 po. Okay
Yes
po
po,
ba?
ma'am. Tama
And then
po,
doon
ma'am.
po sa number 2 po, ma'am, yung sa tanong niyo po. Ang nasagot ko po doon is, for me, now during the pandemic, the more appropriate mode of learning is online for those who are capable and have a stable internet connection because it will be safer po. Yun po, yung number 2 po. And then yung number 3 ko naman po, at the time we are experiencing the pandemic, we can say that online learning and teaching is better. But for me, if everything will be back in normal, it is still better face-to-face because we also encounter our students personally. Much better po kasi di ba pagkaharap talaga natin because we see their actual reactions and emotions. Para if in case po na ganyan, madali po nating magawa yung pwede nating gawin and we can see that they really learned from what we have taught and we can do it right away to solve whatever the problem is.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
all po, ma'am.
Okay,
Thank you po.
Thank you po, ma'am. Thank you po.
Thank you, Ma'am Neri.
Thank you so much po. Yes, go ahead po, ma'am.
Opo, ma'am. Hi, Ma'am Gemma. May question po kasi siya. Specify the subject po ba?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning.
Ay, hello, Ma'am Gemma.
Po. Yung sa ano po kasi, yung sa sinuggest ni Ma'am Dila mo regarding sa research po. So, pagka grade 10 po kasi masyado pong malawak yung scope, tama po ba? So, specifically, dapat po by subject po, no? Tama po ba?
Yes po, ma'am. Tama rin po. Kung halimbawa ikaw po ay classroom teacher at meron ka pong specific subject na gusto mong i-research o magkakandak ka ng research, pwede rin po, example po, specific competency sa science, ganun po. Tapos po, scope and limitation, pwede rin po yung kung halimbawa po ma'am, grade 10, pwede pong lahat sila maging respondents, depende po doon sa research. Example po, ang action research niya ma'am ay experimental. Yung buong grade 10 na students niya, i-divide niya into 2. Yung experimental at saka yung controlled. So pwede rin po yun. Pero kung magkakandak ka ng research, tama po kayo, yung scope po dapat specific lang tapos limited lang. Halimbawa ma'am, isa-solve mo yung problem on the performance of learners in mathematics. So hindi lahat ng competencies sa mathematics isa-solve mo sa pamamagitan ng action research. Masyado siyang broad. So dapat ma'am, specific competency lang. Kung ano yung pinakamababa ang performance nila sa competency na yun yung pwede nilang ikandak ma'am. Tama po kayo ma'am, limited po ang action research. Kasi ang action research po ma'am, for 6 months lang po. Pag basic research po, mas malawak na po yung scope. Yun po yung pwede po si Ma'am Maricar kanina dahil guidance counselor po siya. Pwede po ang basic research sa kanya. Kung mas malawak po ang scope na gusto niya pong ikanda. Yan lamang po ma'am.
Thank you po, ma'am.
Thank you din po, ma'am.
Thank you po, Ma'am Gemma and Ma'am Dela Peña. Some more questions po or sharing of your answers. Yung
Ma'am
iba
Mary.
po na... Yes po, good morning po. Who's
Morning,
this?
Ma'am Mary. Sir
Okay. Sir Falcolan, hello po. Good morning.
Hello, good morning. Good morning po, Ma'am Brenda Dela Peña.
Good morning po, sir.
Thank you po for your time. I just want to share and perhaps ask a follow-up question later. Ano po? Yung tanong po sa number 3, if I'm not mistaken, which one is better? Yun po ba yun? Ganun po ba? Ma'am Mary, pwede po ba, favor, pakibasa po yung tanong sa number 3.
Yung number 3 question po, do you think online education is better than face-to-face setup? Why? Why?
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Based on the slides, ano po, na ipinakita ni Ma'am Brenda kanina, kasi tiningnan ko rin isa-isa yung mga result ng studies, ano. Parang lumilitaw kasi walang mas better than the other. I believe that both are on equal footing, ano. May advantage yung isa, disadvantage nung isa, disadvantage nung isa, advantage nung isa. Ano po? So depende na lang siguro ito sa appreciation ng teacher na magkakandak ng online teaching. And then yung appreciation din from the receiving end, yung student, ano, para dun sa kanyang magiging appreciation nung online o kaya nung modular. Ma'am Brenda, as of yesterday, according to DepEd data, ano po, na nag-gather nila, ang total enrollment ng mga estudyante na nag-enroll na ay 22 million. Kung hindi ako nagkakamali, ano, out of 100%, that accounts for only 80%. But according to DepEd, that was their target. They were targeting of 80 and higher percent of enrollees. Ano po. So kung titingnan po natin doon, nakuha na po yung target percentage, 80%, 22 million. Napakarami po. Ngayon, kanina po sa balita sa TV, sa DCMM, ano po, sa ABS-CBN, ano po, majority of those enrolled students, and of course, with their parents, ang pinipili pa rin po nila na modality ay modular. Ano po?
Yes, sir.
Ngayon,
Tama po.
Ngayon, how can we reconcile ang gusto nila ay modular at itong ating ipinapakilala? Kasi ako po personally na-encourage po ako sa online eh. Pero po dati ayaw ko rin po ng online kasi bago po tayo sa ganitong environment eh. But because of the webinars, the insets particularly, ano po, yung mga in-invite po ni Ma'am Mitch. Thank you po pala Ma'am Mitch sa pag-invite po ng mga magagaling po nating speakers, ano, including po Ma'am Brenda. Eh ako po converted from modular to online. Eh po paano po yung parents po natin na most of them ay gusto pa rin po ay modular? Ano po ang inyong mai-recommend, Ma'am Brenda, sa mga teachers para yung parents po natin ay tawag dito, ma-encourage, madoktrinahan, whatever, ma-convert na unti-unti, gustuhin din po nila yung online kasi yung health po natin ang nakasalalay po kung sakaling magkaroon ng face-to-face or whatever. Thank you po, Ma'am Brenda.
Salamat po, sir, sa information, sa update po. Sa amin kasi, sir, dito sa La Union, talagang problema namin ang online learning. Hindi talaga namin maisagawa. Kasi nga po, dahil din sa kakulangan sa gamit, sa internet access. Kaya, ang isang paraan po, sir, para ma-encourage po yung mga parents na ma-engage din sila sa online learning, ang isang recommendation na nailagay namin, sir, sa LCP namin is magkaroon ng simulation kung paano kinakandak ang online learning. Yun yung isa sa suggestion nila, sir. Pero sa amin, sa part namin sa remote schools, hindi namin magagawa yung simulation na yon. Kaya ang ginagawa na lang po namin, sir, gumagawa kami ng offline interactive na module. Tapos yung tablet na yun, sir, ilalagay namin sa tablet, dadalhin namin yun sa mga remote areas kung saan nakatira yung mga students para kahit paano ma-feel nila na mayroon pa ring online learning. Pero doon sa part ng mga parents na pwede namang mag-online learning pero parang mas gusto pa rin nila yung modular, siguro sir, yun po, yung mag-simulation po tayo kung paano i-conduct yung online learning. Tapos ang participants po natin ay yung mga parents at saka students po. Yun po sir.
Opo. Ma'am, thank you po. Follow up lang po ma'am, okay lang po ba?
Sige lang po sir, sige po.
Ang Calabarzon po, kung di ako nagkakamali, starting yesterday or last week, hindi ko po makuha yung exact data. No? Nag-start na po ng simulation. And then this morning, from the same news network, may in-interview po na isang teacher, head of an organization, teachers organization or something like that. In-interview po nila yung mga teachers na nag-simulate. Ano po? Ang isang tanong, ano-ano po ang problema na na-encounter po ninyo sa simulation? Number one problem na in-air ng mga teachers, yung internet connectivity po. Hindi po talaga makapasok sa connection para po makasali sa simulation.
Opo, sir.
Info lang po yan, ma'am. Thank you po.
Thank you po, sir. Opo, yan po talaga ang number one problem natin, yung sa internet access, sa internet connectivity. Kaya sana yung ating government ma-address din yung problem natin when it comes to internet connectivity kasi talagang mabagal po. Marami pong salamat, Sir Cesar. Ang ginawa lang, yung po namang mga parents na pwedeng mag-access doon sa amin, sa school po namin sa Central, nagkaroon po ng orientation ang mga parents. Mayroon din silang webinar na kinandak ng division kung ano yung role nila pagdating sa online learning at modular learning po. So kahapon po nangyari yung webinar na yon and nag-aas pa po ako ng data kung ano po ang kinalabasan o kung ano po ang response ng mga parents sa division namin sa role nila sa modular and online learning po. So orientation po ang isa sa ginawa aside from simulation po, sir. Salamat po.
Thank you so much po, Ma'am Brenda. Any questions po before we proceed to the Certificate of Appreciation? Any questions or sharing? Thank you so much po sa mga nagsagot na po sa Google form. You can still access po the form. Okay. So, once again, yes po. Is there someone? Okay, none. Once again, thank you so much po for being with us today, Dr. Brenda Dela Peña. Please allow me to read the citation of the Certificate of Appreciation if there are no questions already from our participants. Let us wait po. Let me read the citation of the Certificate of Appreciation.
Ma'am Neri.
Yes po.
Oo. Dr. Brenda, pakita ko lang yung area mo, no, yung kung saan ka bivisit. So,
yes
po. Okay lang with due permission. Hinanap ko to kasi napadaanan ko to doon sa wall mo. So si Ma'am Brenda ay ito po yung area na binibisita nila. So talagang very impossible na ang online education sa kanilang area.
Salamat, ma'am.
Opo. Ito po ay nung before COVID daw. So yan ang kanilang reading session. So balik ko na po doon sa certificate.
Salamat po, ma'am. Babalik ulit ako sa ganong setup. Kasi na-transfer ako, ma'am. Central po ako, pero binalik po ako sa remote school.
Yes, I truly appreciate po the mountain teachers. It's really hard po talaga for them to have this accessibility, especially nowadays. So it's really not possible. Sa Philippines, ang dami pong lugar na walang signal at merong school. Kaya modular po talaga ang kailangan natin. But anyway, we have to look at the positive side of everything, especially
Yes, ma'am.
in education, na we are teachers and we are educators, and of course we can do anything for our students, for them to be able to learn. Okay, so much for that one. Let me read the citation of the Certificate of Appreciation. Republic of the Philippines, Department of Education, Region 4A, Calabarzon, Division of Rizal, District of Rodriguez 2, Tagumpay National High School, Rodriguez Rizal. Certificate of Appreciation is hereby awarded to Dr. Brenda Dela Peña in grateful acknowledgement of her distinguished and valuable service rendered as resource speaker during the conduct of In Service for Teachers 2020 with the theme Keeping the Passion Amidst Disruption, Changing Pedagogy, Changing Technology in a Changing World, given this 30th day of July 2020 at Tagumpay National High School, Rodriguez Rizal. Signed, Mrs. Susana J. Sacatrapos, Principal 2. Thank you so much once again, Dr. Brenda Dela Peña, for giving your time and expertise and shared knowledge to us participants. Okay.
Ayan, Ma'am Neri,
So-
parang may pahabol pa po yata si Sir Wency. May question. If okay lang, Ma'am Brens, one last question.
Yes,
Okay,
sige po,
one
ma'am.
last question.
Thank you,
Sir
Ma'am
Wency.
Neri.
Hello
Okay
po
po.
ma'am, magandang umaga po Dr. De La Peña.
Hello po,
Ah,
sir. Magandang umaga po.
Ako po si Sir Pagaduan, Filipino teacher po ako.
Opo, sir.
Mabuhay po kayo mga Ilocano. Since
Thank you, sir.
nasa yung learning modality po ninyo ay modular.
Opo,
Ma'am,
sir.
pwede niyo po ba kaming mabigyan ng insight sa kung paano niyo po isinasagawa itong modular learning yung modality niyo sa modular po. Paano po kaya sa setup po ninyo?
Ay, okay po, sir. Thank you po, sir. Ang nakalagay po sa learning continuity plan po namin, sir, ay pag Monday po, sir, kami po ay pupunta sa mga sitio. I-distribute po namin yung mga modules, yung mga activity sheets na inihanda po namin. Kasama po namin ang teacher, parent, or parent representative by sitio na sila ang magiging guide namin sa pagbibigay ng modules. Umaga po yun, sir, 8 to 12 po. Kasi po malayo yung mga bahay-bahay doon, sir, mga kilometro ang lalakarin. Kaya half day namin gagawin yun, sir. Tapos sa hapon, sir, babalik na kami sa school. Tapos yung mga bata naman, from 1 o'clock to 4:30, meron na silang sasagutin na activity sheets or modules na ang subject po ay ESP at saka MAPI po. From kinder hanggang grade 6, pare-pareho po ang subject na sasagutin nila yung activity sheets. Tapos po sa Tuesday hanggang Thursday, naka-work from home po kami, sir. And ipa-follow up namin sila sa pamamagitan ng pagtawag lang po, sir, at sa pag-text. Kasi yung mga parents, nung nag-survey po kami, ang result po ng survey namin, wala po silang internet, wala din po silang gadget, yung touchscreen na cellphone, ganun po yung smartphone. Ang meron lang daw po sa kanila, sir, yung dipindot na cellphone. So, kailangan po na tawagan po namin sila. Pero meron din pong sinusulong ang LGU namin, yung radio. Di ba, wala po ting TV yung iba, kaya ang sinusulong ng munisipyo po namin ay yung paggamit ng radyo po, sir.
Radyo ma'am na two-way radio po?
Opo, sir. Opo, sir. Yun po. Pero depende pa rin po yun, sir, kung lahat ay may radyo po sa kanilang lugar. Hindi pa po namin na-survey yun, sir. Pero meron din po kaming home visitation. For example, sir, yung Tuesday to Thursday, work from home kami, pero mayroon yung mga batang nahihirapang magbasa or kailangan nila ng remediation, sir, magkakandak po kami ng home visitation po. Tapos po sa Friday, sir, babalik po kami ng school. Hihintayin po namin yung mga parent representative per sitio at dadalhin po nila yung mga nakolekta nilang module sa kanilang lugar at isasubmit po nila sa amin sa school ng hapon po, 1 o'clock. Tapos po, ibibigay naman po namin yung susunod na module po for the following week na sasagutin din po ng mga bata. Chine-check din po namin yung mga module nila. Ang schedule ng checking po namin sa mga module nila, sir, is Friday afternoon, tuwing Friday po.
Okay po, ma'am. Ang bigat po pala, ma'am, ng gawain niyo po sa sa pag-deliver po ng module. So, ibig sabihin, ma'am, kayo po talagang mga teacher ang pupunta sa mga sitio-sitio para po maghatid ng mga module po.
Opo, sir, pag hindi po wala pong time yung parent representative, sir, kailangan kami po. Ang problema lang naman po namin ngayon, sir, aside from sa pandemic, meron pang landslides kasi doon, sir, pag umuulan, nagigiba yung mga lupa tapos yung mga bato nahuhulog. Kaya medyo iniisip ko rin, sir, kung hindi ka mamamatay sa virus. Parang sa bagay, sir, parang joke na lang yun. Parang think positive pa rin ako, sir, na magagawa pa rin natin yung tungkulin natin, lalo na doon sa mga talagang kailangan mong tumawid ng ilog, o dumaan ng 2 bundok para marating mo yung isang sitio, sir, kung saan naroroon yung mga bata.
Thank you po, ma'am. Ma'am, pasensya na po sa out of topic na question ko po, ma'am. Pero ma'am, may tanong po ako.
Yes, sir.
Yung positive cases po sa La Union, ma'am, may idea po kayo or within your community, meron po bang mga positive na din po sa inyo, ma'am?
Kahapon lang po, sir. Sa lugar namin, sir, doon sa Municipality of San Gabriel.
Opo.
Kasi nasa San Juan ako ngayon, sir, doon lang ako na-destino sa San Gabriel. Isa po ang positive. Kaso lang, sir, hindi pa siya nakauwi sa La Union. LSI po kasi siya, sir, from Mandaluyong. And ididiretso na po siya, sir, sa isolation facility. Doon na siya gagamutin. Pero, sir, sa buong La Union, sa City of San Fernando, doon po yung marami ang may positive cases po.
Ma'am, hindi po kayo natatakot na kahit may positive, kayo po yung maghahatid ng mga modules sa mga bata?
Natatakot din po, sir. Pero alam mo yun, sir, yung iniisip ko na lang po ngayon, napakaswerte ko dahil tapos na ako sa pag-aaral. Parang walang pandemic noon, sir. And ngayon, parang hindi naman sa sinasabi kong malas, pero parang kawawa yung mga bata ngayon, sir. Kaya sa akin na lang, gagawin ko din yung part ko, sir, para ma-deliver yung instruction sa kanila, yung kailangan nilang mapag-aralan para hindi naman po sila as in behind, lalo na sa remote area na rin po sila.
Opo, na maipasa din po natin yung education para po sa mga mga bata po, Ma'am, last na. Ma'am, last na talaga, ma'am. Ito po may kinalaman sa research po.
Opo, sir.
Siyempre, ma'am, yung mga research po ngayon ay through online platforms na rin po. Ma'am, maliban po sa Google Forms, may re-recommend pa po ba kayong ibang paraan para makapagbigay kami ng mga questionnaires, ganun po, para makuha din namin po yung mga response nila online, maliban po sa Google Forms?
Sir, ang ginagawa ng iba po dito na nagkakandak po ng research ay itinadaan po nila sa division office. Tapos yung mga ADAS po namin, sir, pinipick up po nila yung mga research, yung hard copy ng research nila, sir, or yung questionnaire. At doon naman po sa district, kung halimbawa ang respondents po ay per district or teachers within the district, doon po ipipick up ng school heads po. Pero, sir, kahapon lang po talagang dinidiscourage pa rin nila, sir, na magkaroon ng physical reporting. Kaya po, binalik po ulit sa online. Talagang Google Forms. Sir,
So, Ma'am Brenda, yung Google Forms po talaga ang pinaka best way para makuha po natin yung respond ng ating mga respondents kung sakaling gagawa po tayo ng research po.
Opo, sir. Ganun na po yung mangyayari, sir. At saka sa evaluation, ganun na din po ang mangyayari, sir. Online na din po.
Opo, ma'am. Ma'am Brenda, maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat din po, sir, sa mga information at nawala din yung kaba ko.
Na-inspire kami, ma'am.
Thank you po, sir. Thank you po, Tagumpay National High School at sa Rodriguez Rizal. Maraming salamat po sa pagkakataong ito. Believe po ako kasi mayroon po kayong virtual inset. Sa amin siguro wala, so paparating pa lang yung virtual inset, pero hindi pa po sure kung magkakaroon pa ng ganun, sir, kasi bagong gagawin namin. Pero gusto ko po rin sana magkaroon din ng ganitong inset, virtual inset. Kasi ang ganda ng nyo po, meron kayong webinar series, tapos mga participants, teachers, tapos nakaka-invite kayo ng mga speakers. Parang, wow, ang loaded po kayo ng information na maaari nyo pong gamitin sa pagtuturo sa darating na pasukan. Kaya may natutunan po talaga ako. Maraming salamat po. Hindi lang po yung nagbahagi po ako sa inyo, kundi mas marami pa po akong na-adapt na parang para sa akin best practice nyo na pwede ko ring i-adapt sa amin. Kahit sa school man lang po. Maraming salamat po talaga sa pagkakataon. Thank you.
We are more than grateful po, Ma'am Brenda, for having you today in our session. Let me just read po some of the positive feedback from our chat box. We have here, what's this? Agyamanak Ma'am Brenda. Sorry. Sharing ng knowledge and expertise mo from Ma'am Lenny Santos. Thank you so much for the insights po, Ma'am Brenda, from Ma'am Jocelyn Barachina. Mabuhay po ang teacher na napaka-dedicated katulad niyo po, Ma'am Brenda, from Ma'am Barachina as well. Salute po, Dr. Brenda, nakaka-inspire po kayo from Miss Jufay Manigbas, from Ma'am Jufay. Salute to the teachers in your division and school, Ma'am, from Sir Christopher Constantino. Your dedication and commitment niyo po is beyond measure po. Salute po sa inyong lahat from Ma'am Julie Ann Delidili. Thank you, Ma'am Brenda, for presenting researchers which can be used for literature reviews, serving as springboard to conduct researches related to distance learning. What is more pressing for me is to conduct research on the quality of instruction this distance learning can offer. Okay po, so thank you po, that's from Sir Leonardo Giray. Thank you po, Ma'am Brenda, for keeping us with the trends in research. That's from Ma'am Jocelyn David. Once again, ma'am, literally a while ago while I am listening to the conversation of Sir Wency and Ma'am Brenda, goosebumps po talaga because I can't imagine that, there are a lot of teachers, mountain teachers who are sacrificing just for the vocation, teaching vocation. So I salute all the educators out there po. Yan.
Thank you
some
so
more
much,
questions?
ma'am.
Thank you so much po. Some more questions? Anything po? Okay, anything else? Okay, thank you so much po again. And now to give us her closing remarks, ladies and gentlemen, the afternoon session, officer in charge of Tagumpay National High School. I think she's with us right now, Ma'am Rowena P. Bautista.
Good morning, Ma'am Ne. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning,
I think it's
ma'am.
afternoon. Good noon.
Hi,
Good morning. Good afternoon na pala, Ma'am Brenda, no po.
Yes,
So good day, everyone. Naimbag nga aldaw kada tayo amin. Dahil fresh na fresh from Tarlac ang ating resource speaker today. So I hope and pray that we are all okay amidst our fear from what is happening in our environment as of this time, because we have increasing number of COVID cases in our municipality. But as what we always hear, life must go on and perform our task as well. So this is also very true as teachers. Medyo may feedback ba tayo? Besides the challenges we face, we are still devoting time to equip ourselves in preparation to our upcoming opening of classes. Indeed, the whole teaching force of Tagumpay National High School with other participants is grateful to you, Dr. Brenda Dela Peña, for being our resource speaker today. Your knowledge and vivid presentation on some researches in online education give us deeper perspective in research. I'm sure you have motivated our participants to find time in making a research because it is really fulfilling when you make one and very exciting when you make two or more. So as one of research advocate too, I am very much inspired to do more and calling other researchers also who are with us today to continue contributing on researches in the field of education. Whatever we see nowadays, from improvement in economics, field of medicines, and improvement in education are all products of researches before. We will not be as progressive and innovative as we are today without the big help of research in our educational system. So again, our sincerest thanks to our speaker who inspired us a lot and to each and everyone who have attended our today's session. Keep safe everyone and God bless.
Thank you so much po, Ma'am Weng. Appreciation also to the University of the Philippines for letting us use their Zoom account. Katame link po for the session will be posted later after the talk of our second speaker po. So accessibility is what makes online education appealing. Since this is very new to us because we, of course, used to have traditional teaching learning process. Meanwhile, we are continuing searching for the best platform and way to still provide education in the Philippines. Again, I salute all the educators out there for providing quality basic education to our kids. See you again in a bit for our second session. Meeting ID and code is available in our group page po. Thank you so much and God bless everyone. Thank you po, Ma'am Brenda.
Thank you din po, Ma'am Nerissa. Thank you po sa lahat. Ingat po.
Thank
Bye-bye
you po, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am Brenda. Bye-bye po.
Bye-bye po. Salamat po ulit.
Paano na to? I-ano?